here, DIYer behind lemon-thistle.com, and today I'm excited to be talking about plugs and switches. These are some simple upgrades that you can make in your house, and you can do it in an afternoon or an evening, and I'm sharing some of the ones that we've chosen to make in our home and what they're helping with and why we bother. So let's do it. This is such a simple upgrade to make in your house, so I thought that I would start a new playlist with simple upgrades to make in your home without a full-blown renovation, and I'll add this video to that, and then I also have a couple other videos I want to add to that as well. I have one about doorknobs, I have one about pantry organization. I have a few different things that I feel like fit into this category that give your house an upgrade without a huge cost. So I will link that playlist down in the description of this video as well. This video is in partnership with Legrand. I am using their Radiant collection of switches and plugs and wall plates for this video, and these are products that we truly love. We have them throughout our home in a bunch of different spaces. I'll share a lot of those with you today, and I'll go over kind of the basics of swapping out your plugs and switches. Before we get started, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I would so love if you did that below so you don't miss out on any more DIY or home decor videos.
All right, so let's start in the kitchen here. In the kitchen, we have this stock of 3 light switches, and one of them we want to be able to plug in our charging devices. So we went with the tamper resistant USB plugs here, and then we have a 3-way switch and a 4-way switch. And I won't get into how to wire a 3-way and a 4-way switch. We are not electricians, so if you want to be wiring things that are outside of your comfort zone, make sure you contact an electrician. But for the most part, these switches, if you are swapping just from a standard paddle switch to a new Legrand Radiant collection paddle switch, the swap over is very similar. You just change the wires from your old switch to your new switch, and it should work perfectly. When you're switching from a normal plug to a USB plug, it doesn't need any more power, it doesn't change anything, it is just a straight swap as well. For the screwless frames, this is the part that I think makes them look so clean and pretty. You screw on the first part as you would a normal faceplate, and then your screwless faceplate clips onto that, so there are no actual screws showing. And then to pop it off when you need to get in there, you just use a little flathead screwdriver at the bottom to kind of pry it off, and it will click right off. The faceplates alone make such a big difference in how a light switch or plug looks. I will probably put these in every room in our house and in the next house and in every house ever.
All right, so another spot that we put in one of these switches is in the living room here, and this switch we changed to a dimmer switch for the pot lights that we put into the living room. I'll link to my video about pot lights as well. And what I really like about this is it dims it for mood lighting, of course. One thing that I like about this dimmer is that the dimmer is to the side of the light switch, so you can change it to the setting that you like, the brightness that you like, and then just turn your light on and off, and it will stay at that exact setting. This is great if you have a beautiful fixture that has a ton of light bulbs and you want to be able to have this beautiful fixture, but it is blinding. So I really love the dimmer for that. We have one in our dining room as well for that reason.
So this one was a little bit different than the plugs. We had to make a couple changes to switch it over. So originally our switch had a hot wire and a common wire, and our neutral wires were bundled together. So we had to pigtail a neutral wire from that bundle to the switch, and we added a ground wire as well. Again, all the spots on the back of the plugs are labeled so you know where to hook them onto. And you can also make it into a 3-way switch. There's an extra screw for that, but it's taped over so you don't mix it up if you are not going to be making it into a 3-way switch. And so next is these nightlight plugs, and we have found that these have made such a big difference to our daily lives. Our kids go to sleep so much easier having a nightlight in their bedroom, and we don't spend our time at the end of the day searching for the nightlights that were unplugged. We also find that they look really nice and clean, and it leaves the plugs available for anything else that they want to plug in. Again, these are tamper resistant, so I don't have to worry about the kids playing with them, and they're screwless, so they look really beautiful. The light here has adjustable brightnesses, so if the bright light really bothers you, you can dim it down almost to nothing. Or if you have guests staying in the room and they really don't like the nightlight, you can tap it all the way off. You could also swap out this clear plate here for a louvered one, so it points the light at the floor instead of lighting the entire room. And we put these in the kids' bedroom, in the hallway, which they have to walk down at night to get to our bedroom and the bathroom. And then we put them in both of the bathrooms as well. We also swapped out all of the plugs and switches in our bedroom. We had screwless ones in here before, but when I posted this accent wall tutorial, I had so many people message me, some kindly and some not so kindly, saying that it looks ridiculous with the white plugs and switches. And why don't I go black? And honestly, I hadn't thought about it. I had only ever seen really ugly black switches and plugs with the screws, and I didn't know you could get such beautiful ones. So when we decided to partner with Legrand, I was super excited. This is the first thing that I said to them. I'm like, yes, let's go with black plugs and switches. So we switched all of those out. We have USB ones by our bed as well, so that we can plug in and charge our phones at night. And then we switched over all the switches. And the other thing that we did is we put in a 2-in-1 switch in the bathroom for the fan and the light. I am just obsessed with how these switches look on the black walls. They just blend right in and they look so darn beautiful. Okay, the last one that I want to show you today is what we did in my office. I am super excited for this one too. I have friends come over and work with me since I've built this giant desk that has spots for 2 or 3. We've had 3 people working down here before, people to work. And the one thing that is kind of a nuisance we've found is that they have to run their computer cords down the hole that we drilled in the corner of the desk and then climb under the desk and pull my little, I have a drawer thing under the desk with vinyl in it, pull that out of the way and then plug in their cords. And then when it's time to go, do it all over again. And if there's somebody else already working here, then they have to ask them to move out of the way. You know what I mean. You've all been there. It works, but it's a pain. And so now we have this really sleek, beautiful looking desktop plug, and it has USB plugs in here. And again, it's screwless. And so they can just plug in right on top of the desk without climbing underneath. Now, I love this for a few reasons. But also, you don't have to do any wiring at all. It just plugs into the plug underneath the desk. So this is great if you are building like a coffee bar even, and you want to put cabinets on the wall and have your coffee maker on top of your cabinets. You don't have to move that plug and redo wiring. You can just run this through the cabinets, through the countertop, and have it plug in countertop. So I'm super excited about this one. I think it's really cool. And I think that there's lots of different applications that you could use this in that it would be so helpful. All right, so those are the different types of plugs and switches that we upgraded in partnership with Legrand. We did quite a few of these same changes in our last house, and I would do it in every house again. So I definitely feel like it is worth the investment, if nothing else, for the safety of the tamper resistant plugins if you have young kids.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more DIY or home decor videos. We'll see you next time.